Now let's go into the flawed definitional word used to turn people into criminals, cause all violence of crime and war, and of course make trades and trade goods unsafe. The word is called racism. It creates the mafia. The stereotype mafia that somebody uses when they muscle somebody out of a job for their gene that the other gene is better at. For instance, Jewish opera singers and Jews singing. Italians claimed racism because they couldn't sing as well as Jews. They muscled them out. Italians also worked as lawyers. They are the originators of the high tribunals of Roman oratory and Senate's culture. So the Jews went into the business of political marksmanship and counter law. That's the mafia to the bigots, the Italian singers and songwriters. How about mine? I'm an anti Semite. I have an immunity to mercury poisoning making my dick bigger. My penis has been the same size my entire life. And I've eaten shrimp, cocktail shrimp, since I was 2 and very heavily. And there's acid rain, and I eat fish and seafood, scallop, bacon, everything. When your dick gets big from mercury, you slowly turn into a pederast. I'm supposed to be a hatter, a haberdasher, a formulist, a royal advisor, and, of course, a comic book writer. But the Jews wanted in on the trade because they didn't eat shrimp. And they argue they can make this better because they will allow an exclusivity of those working for them. They can only work for one company, a slave trade to produce this comic book or clothing set at greater numbers in what's called sweatshops. And I was muscled out of England, the English hatters business. So, Jews are also captains aboard Royal British Navy vessels. So I absconded to ports otherwise, all of us hatters, us English Kurds, Kurds, of course, is plural. And I went to places like Jamaica or Haiti or Canada and became a pirate and privateer. My line is Blackbeard. I killed so many English ships and captains. I wrote myself, establishing the formula into my own work, however, as a hero. I placed my actual act as the villain, the big bad, as you like to call it in comics. A little queer, don't you think, for the kids? And myself, the hero, as the author in the process of writing the novel. That's the standard Blackbeard trick. We had boats full of Jews, led by me, a shyster, the origin of the term. We use knives and swords for disloyalty. In a comic book plot we induced. A comic book plot that we weren't in, but all these guys had a plot called Fancy Hats. There was a game where we took the rum and we put it on the dock shore, stealing a talcum's ship for bread for Haitian slaves in Haiti, and we made them eat the jerky for the Jews and drink the whiskey, rum, grog, etc. We throw away the expensive stuff and keep the cheap stuff. And then next time we get to port, we narc out the sunk royal vessel, the Royal Navy, for the whiskey they found elsewhere, moving to the other port to report it. That way I was still the Jew. Now look at my nose. That's called the Penguin. The DC Comics character. I look like a Jewish banker without my glasses. To take over the ship, if anybody wants to try this, get on board, ask for the captain's sword, the Jewish captain of all the Jews in the merchant vessel for food running, and then run them through in front of the other Jews. And then take the captain's hat. And then that's how you play Fancy Hats. And you put the whiskey on the dock, take the rum out to ocean, steal it from the British marine and military naval vessels, it's real easy. The captain over there is a Jew and your crew is Jewish. And at the next port, write an editorial article about how the vessel you raided for extra jerky and tack, and of course your food bread for Haiti, the granaries. Make sure you say those guys were the sunk ones that needed the whiskey to pick up. Because he won't kill your crew because they're Jewish and he's Jewish. But there's Gentiles on their crew, so you can board, plank, and raid without cannon. The key to the system is that obese people can't understand it. Obesity is from a sullen mind, and you require a simplified linear disposal of trait. So you see why you flunk comics or English lit, from myself being the main antagonist and my author process being the protagonist. You'll never have to marry a fat whore. She'll have a decent rack, skinny waist, and a tight bubble butt, regardless of age. And that's piracy. So now you see why the term racism is corrosive. It invented Jews sniping at politicians, and it invented me fucking up students for being nursing majors.